want to maybe take just some couple of minutes for orient me, but usai within. And just for context, the Minister of Internal Affairs yesterday through Cabinet passed the strategic plan, and Cabinet approved the strategic plan for the NDLEA. We're very comprehensive, amongst other things. We're not on the basis on which this conversation had happened, because we want to support NDLEA and all the different stakeholders and we don't engage on this. So as a government, already several efforts we know they happen, but now we really want to bring up forth. So sir, please just arrange this morning. And the next person we will talk Dr. Jallo through the ministry. The minister are there, but the people that we deal with are every day. And we talk briefly for arrange in terms of the numbers we see and all that, and then we'll open the conversation.
Thank you very much, sir. The question of Kush, the reason why it's very potent, it's because it's not just not just a small global context. It's Mauritius begets similar kind of problem with synthetic drugs. South Africa there's a bigger spice. So Kush now we own version of the kind of synthetic drug, and the reason why it's very normally the natural cannabis. The tetrahydrocannabinol, it's minimum sometimes 3%. 3% now they will reduce straight away, they can go up to 15%. But with Kush, because the active ingredient for the oil make everybody basically get high, because it's chemically induced, so it will become very potent. I mean sometimes a potency can maybe 3 or 4 times more than the natural cannabis we everybody take. And because of that, some people they take and they assume say maybe that just jamba. And we all know the problem with addiction we get. Since for the past couple of years, because we don't look at the issues. Luckily, Dr. Jallo, they are in terms of the stats, we don't even very closely on that. And because of that, of this background and the number of personnel and we young people that we actually take up, not just push. We only think tramadol is also another major problem. Tramadol, the normal tramadol we all know, the legal one, it's normally 50 to 100 milligram. That is if you get prescription, you can buy over the counter. But some of the tramadol will seize and destroy a 250 milligram IIH for now. Now, which will make them more dangerous, only just the 250 milligram. When they do test them at them, some of the potency can range from 150 milligram up to 710 milligram. This one are test review from a seaboard do and confirm. So it can range from different regions. And because people in Africa, if you buy, for example, tramadol, you think it's 100 milligram tramadol you buy. But in actual fact, the contents are more than 100, 150, 200 milligram. Then it becomes a serious matter. So the reality is, yes, we get a drug problem. But sometimes for some not to just the kind of, sometimes it's easy for we forget the kind of knee-jerk reaction. Yes, it's a problem. But I think together, what we decide to do, we engage different partners. We engage civil society, we engage different stakeholders, we even engage bike riders and kekes, boat owners, lorry drivers, and we put together this strategic plan. The bottom line, internationally, to people that don't face similar problem, for where they succeed, the approach is look at 4 areas. Number one, one of the key areas, which is supply restriction. Supply restriction, that's basically the law enforcement part of it. Most times, where would they do enforcement, there is a tendency, because of all the turmoil, the agitation, we tend for the go after the peddlers. But what that does sometimes is that we tend for the overcrowd with breezes. Just this morning, I think the minister has to go attest to that. The director of correctional services say, Waterloo basically don't anything overcrowded. Just we take this because of all this spread on. So the plan is for supply restriction. The plan is, yes, we'll go after the small guys, but also the supply chain. Because when you are getting a military background, they say normally when you hit if you hit the main base, then the smaller one they all go out. That is the part of the supply restriction. Go after the property, because crime also, when we know the economics, the cost benefit analysis people they do. So if you involve them and then you don't say you forfeit the vehicle, we transport them, the house we sell them from, then that will make people then take note, say, okay, we need to stop. That is the supply restriction part of it. But we cannot jail all the citizens. Some of them are 17. Beginning on the 16-year-old interview, and they take them about, because for some reason they take them about the inner energy. And we were not going to jail all of them. So that's time to the second part of it, which is to reduce demand. And demand reduction normally by drug policy, the focus is on prevention. The prevention by engaging with our schools, with our communities, with families, and also it's to build that kind of resilience in our youth. Because it's easy for peer pressure for somebody for take first cannabis, and then from cannabis you graduate to push, and then you begin mixing the push and the cocaine and the tramadol. So it's really it becomes very, very potent. So the demand reduction part of it, as I say, that's where all of us here, the media, the civil society, for most of the stuff is in the plan. For we for engage at the family level, at all levels, for we for engage, and then sensitize with people. That part also has to do with public health. It's not just forget a comprehensive drug plan. It's not just law enforcement. So parts of it is to do with it's a public health crisis. Our public health crisis sometimes need public health measures, and this where they treatments. I'm not sure we don't even get sort of a treatment center now with partnership with ECOWAS and INL with the treatment professionals in substance abuse, because you cannot, as I say, you cannot jail everybody. So the plan is to do with supply restriction, is to do demand reduction, of course capacity building also with the organization that with the take part, because you can put together the best laid plans, but if you don't have the capacity and the resources to execute the plan, it becomes just a plan. And then finally, the fourth part of it of the plan is to do with data and research, because sometimes it's easy for just make statements not backed by the requisite evidence and research. So the plan also makes provision for that. For a national comprehensive survey on actual drug use patterns. But as I say, the plan itself is a living document based on engagements and new evidence. Then it can be adapted as and when necessary.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
In fact, the plan at the base where we start from, you say that living document. So even as we were programmed yesterday, we committed for improvement, and that was the discussions. Because I want to make men we really get views from everybody. We take psychiatric and the health aspect. So just give me a quick summary. Welcome to Minister of Sports this time. Yes.
Just for compliments, let's say, the push data is now the 1 million supports. That's an important one. Then we get the local engaged push where they use different composition of chemicals. The second one where they use any kind of leaf. Then they add formalin, they add some nail polisher. Then they get the add skeleton sometimes. So that one they get a name for color. They call it the Jagaban Kush. Then they get the one where they call the Tramadol Kush, where they add Tramadol in make it active, whereas the Jagaban Kush in make them very sleepy. They sleep always, they become inactive. So the issue of the Kush, it's complicated somehow because we don't even know exactly the composition of this Kush where they use. Sometimes they make something like a cocktail, different drugs there, they mix up, they take them, but then they call it Kush. And the effects or the impacts of the Kush are very serious. It's really disheartening if you're going to come out, you see young boys there, they die because of complications of the use of the Kush. If you go to Kisi right now, space not safe because of the impacts of the Kush. And now young man there, between the ages of 20 to 34 years, most of the youthful age. Then we also the Kush. One 147, 2022 527. Then we see also a decline in alcohol and cannabis because they shift away from cannabis to Kush. Yeah. Then for 2023, this year that data we'll collect, we get like 684 people were present at the hospital with Kush. Then Tramadol, now 358. Ecstasy, first time we don't really get them, but now instead don't come up. Now 6 people there. Then cannabis now also don't increase back again to 122. Most of the now school going people is there, secondary school. Although we get some way primary school also we they take them. Yes, 10 years they take them, 11 years they take them. Yeah, and then from 2020 to 2022, we see an increase in the number of university students that also will get a taker. For example, this year, the number don't increase for the one where they take drugs, where they now tertiary institutions there. So the issue of kush is serious, and most times they get different ways how they administer. But majority na combination. They smoke, they inject, they take them, swallow orally. So that's not the most prevalent one, the mixtures. So now that I get for the data.
Thank you. And then before I'm opening them up, the task force we do is go from prevention to rehabilitation. And along that entire chain, access to justice and the irreversible correctional systems. The AG perhaps could get anything or two for speak about this, which is linked to the second thing with cabinet also approved. So maybe we'll talk about what's in cabinet approved, you for do, or with the Minister of Internal Affairs, and then speak briefly about the justice aspect to this.
Thank you, CM. Good afternoon, all, and welcome. Anyway, we there so on a very serious issue, which is becoming a pandemic now, and epidemic now in the country, which is drugs, the abuse of it. We all know, say, for the most part, the younger brothers and sisters, they are affected. This is a very serious problem. To an extent, it will become a generational problem. As the Chief of Staff rightly said earlier, we don't continue for the jail with brothers and sisters that we beginning right through for the most part. Now, we brothers that we beginning with the school. Now they're mostly involved in this substance abuse. You might think that it's not possible, especially so. There will be people who are in schools because now this time feeling say you need to begin at school. When people come out, maybe when they are the when he reach outside, and then at school, the teacher will touch him. You know his status. A officer get control over everything. Like quite recently, one of us will all know about saying keep the teacher, come out from school, go to the teacher and post, stab him several times, and allege say he kill him. If you come out of one private school, go to another private school. The first private school he come out, watching the investigation will reveal, say they never not schooling because at one time a lot all the company inside pump shelters. They're all inside him. How he get the mind for renting and only God know. They go to another school, there's guy for correct him, he direct him, if he say he's above the wall. Ordinarily, nobody will think say he will just grab them, get my mind for go meet a whole individual. Possibly will burn him. As the allegation will go, say there's a stab. But that besides the point. The issue is on drugs, the abuse of drugs. We get several laws there. And for the most part, when they can charge and go court, we're all responsible. We cannot go blame the police, I don't go blame I don't go blame the judiciary. We're all responsible. For the most part, when they can also go, they charge them to court. Even how many pharmacies drugs have taken charging. So when they charge them under that, there's so many offense. The maximum are 2 years. So when they go court, evidence, no, the evidence in the sense, the exhibits not available. They can continue for the go court to some point. We all know natural justice, you keep somebody, they can't court right through. If the court self will say, this man can not able to get witness for prosecuting case, they can just discharge the person. When he come out, he gets emboldened, go come back. So when they can't court, the magistrate is a first-time offender, the magistrate gets the latitude for either fine or impose custodian. If not first-time offender, most parts, the magistrate will decide for fine. However, the fine is, under the Pharmacies Act, is minimal. When you find the person will pay for it, it gets in go daddy where it is traffic for, or the person will push a man where one let a market continue for sale. they can access and will pay the fine, then come out. Now they embolden them back again for camp the next time. And as how the chief of staff say, when they get complaints, say the prisons don't get overcrowded. Now because now the police and the have to change strategy, then you charge now under the National Drugs Enforcement Act. Under the National Drugs Act. Now one day now appear, the punishment serious. The minimum is 5 years. It can go up to life imprisonment for traffickers, manufacturers, and importers. It go up to life imprisonment. And when you say PI, you have to say longer time na court. Again, if witness no dey for can't prove anything against the individual, what is stands that they can let them out. So with that, we get a very loose society where one way or the other we all get to roll for play. But however, what if we don't decide and what we bring everybody can so the same call everybody all cancel now so no brainstorm. This is becoming a very, very serious issue. I might not be an abuser, but who knows? I got people that behind me or friends or relative or very loved one way involved in that. So if I look at all meet a society, cabinet don't decide for look we overlook. We'll try to look at all the laws that again. Now we're all concerned. Now we'll also look at all the laws that again for see if we're able to get a law. We sync everything together, get a unified law will make the punishment severe and drastic. Not only for the end users, because you want to go by, yes, you only, but you want the bring and come. You when the trafficker, you want the pusherman, when they coordinate the deal. You when the guy, when the traffic watch around the area for police for reports to the cartel. We are all involved. So now that we decide, we all meet now, so look, we look, but that is the intention of cabinets now. For the wisdom, whether we all agree, say it is becoming an emergency, and it is becoming an emergency, whether a step we will take, or and what next we will do, because we are all parents. One way or the other, we are parents. So far, I will just left on there at this point.
Thank you. So just so we clear, we probably will take, depending on how I get in the flow, the next 45 minutes maximum. But at the big party, for this round now, we all at a put time at 2 minutes per person. Okay? 2 minutes okay or 250? 250? 3? 2?
Give me 3.
What you going to say? 2 okay, 3 more than 250. That's good. Okay, 250 per person. Where the minute 2:30, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Where the thing go be a big that was summarized. Not summarized, that was done. I said okay. So okay, my seat we don't want to talk first. Alright, so information, social welfare, gender, sports. Not so government we don't want to talk. More than fire force. Alright, start 2:30.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Minister. So I think some of them don't follow the US civic engagement rule so far. This issue of law misuse and abuse, two important things in the way talent on the and we also forbid the basis of this conversation. One is the narrative about the work, that the import and camp, and that people will benefit from it, and it's given by the supply. Which will learn from the data and everything, and actually it's local manufactured and it's given by demand. People engage and they go out of the way, they make an number one. Two, historically we approach to the world, and I'm glad the way CM and the President don't talk about this, now that primarily law enforcement issue. Waiting we want for plead, waiting we want for put forward, as I say, and that's evidence around the world. And we don't take the time of ministry since yesterday and today to prepare a detailed memo to say this is a community-led civic engagement issue. We cannot criminalize the victims. We cannot criminalize the people of this country. So first of all, with respect, nothing is about how we enforce the law. This is about how we do prevention, how we do community ownership, how we talk to each other, how we make sure that each community, each part of this country, people create their own zones and say, okay, yeah, no one will work for Canada. Because if we say we go the law enforcement route, we end up with more and more of these very young people who we try for save them and protect into the business system. And as I say, here, I'm already data. I'll submit this separate Canada time. We don't look at plenty countries. For example, Portugal, when you get a very high drug problem, they completely decriminalize drug use and say this was a crime issue. And what you see, it led to a dramatic decrease, greater social protection. You compare that to the US, who spend billions on enforcement and so-called war on drugs, you get the opposite effect. In fact, what you see, a continued increase. So I just want to table that, and I think
thank you. Time is perfectly well. Next person, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to start by saying, for we at the Ministry of Social Welfare, we celebrate a big role for play in the area of psychosocial counseling. So I remain the voice for every other person they want to say, from criminalizing, not the solution per se. Although I also look at the one there, because we can actually differentiate this. The one there where they actually sell them, where they get cartels and waiting for, like they indulge in people, we can look at that separately. The one where they go take them, and then the one where they will really prepare for say, for look at the root causes of why, because in counseling, say, but until you really come out, why are they indulging in taking drugs? We all know the social problems, we all know the unemployment, the high unemployment rate, we all know the issues in the world. This is not where we say, we know what will happen now. So, to me in particular, we're thinking about the social counseling area. And I believe the other day, say we don't really get a rehab center in this country. And the other day, we are going to visit approved school. So I look at the same, I said approved school fine. See, they said I believe in town, now the remand homes, but all of this don't match to what we talk about. What we need for this particular intervention, the intervention we need for this particular issue, now a rehab center, where we have trained social workers, where, as they do with the farm, then we let people that when they counsel, when they talk to them, we even bring religious leaders in, so on both fronts. So I've been talking and say, I've been seeing one place where as Ministry of Social Welfare better, so probably in how do we rehabilitate and do some quick training to, additional training to social workers. We have enough of them. We recruited over 140 social workers, we can set up something very quickly for leather counseling, psychosocial counseling. Start right there. Also, very quickly, very quickly on the school.
Time done though. I want to go so the people could them talk a bit because you bring an excellent ideas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, CM. One for we really well we that day before yesterday we go take Kanigo, we see a video on social media where you picking there on Jamba. Well, so we community now for believe say the local government ministry are not representing now. Because when the doctor will talk about bone, then they for do gravy and them. And those ones fall under local councils and they manage. So if we do that there, and when we talk about community engagement again, we for be guided within the law here because let people not take as more justice. Recently we see how people they behave and people be frown at that. So it has to be a carrot and stick approach.
not be able to spot out the talents anymore, because it really we don't see say if we let this one so it will also affect me as a ministry of sport, wherein we are left with people we're not able to represent you to win in sport. But we get plenty programs there when we don't talk about, and one of which we make a kind is that we say we want to use every sports competition. We use that platform day for sensitize the youths and the parents and those who will be there to talk about the repercussion, because as the other speakers they don't talk, we not go just use the law. Now we begin it back. Then we go put it, will not even get that place there for the law. You see, so we really get for use them positively and get them involved in different community activities, so that it will be a remedy wherein they will get them engaged. Because now when the minds again look idle, they don't get other things that for member for engaging, then they use them to share, they take them, they go. But if you involve them in sporting activity, which is so easy, and it will develop them physically, and it will make when they don't serve, they're tired, they go to rest, and the things that the next day therefore will get themselves involved, that will help for make them refrain from taking their hard drugs here. Because sport and hard drugs never ever work. They never go together. Even in the performance they will test for that kind of thing. So now I make a statement can come here and let me say that we are worried, because the youths they will produce for develop with teams there, they have been involved in this thing, and it's creating problems for us and affecting us as a ministry. But if we join hands together, support we and the community, when we don't put on a strategic plan for saying we want to do sport all over the community system and get them here involved, that will help reduce. If you know eradicate and say we will reduce them, because they will engage in that positive way. So that that's we can say that and join it.
Excellent, thank you. We'll take another set of rounds of and I'm glad already that people then they talk about what can we do, what can they do, and we all offer different solutions, which is fantastic. We'll continue that way. Those are the lines of action: immediate, medium term, long term. I don't want to summarize that day. And you might know the concept note for submitting the nuggets that will something will for good as well. Yes, again, who are the ones of Umaru, MCHD, mental health advisor, MOHS, MBSSD, and then on the side, Rwanda. Yes, Umar, time here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Kubinkana, for that report, for now, all segments for contribution and space. I like the approach, engagements. I think since it's been suggested that the way about it not for impunity, maybe for start the fact that maybe suggest to the president for pardon push convicts and drop charges against all those standing trial for push. If you will use them as ambassadors and communities, we really need to engage. Let there be bylaws across councils. Now the councils have taken vote. They have not. I'm not waiting the age you advise the president about in terms of law for CRM to make something functional, because my information is the CAs are finding it difficult to operate where councillors have not been sworn in. But however that can be done, get these bylaws, engage the communities. One way we deal with Ebola and COVID, that are engagements at that local level. So let's trigger the structures again and engage these young people and let the paramount chiefs then get involved and warn the people against retributive against any mob justice, but at the same time engage the young people against push. Get short videos about the dangers of push them out on social media, let them see. So I think if we take that as an immediate approach, that might somehow stem this spread. Thank you, sir.
Excellent, thank you. And as you say, that we all come from and solve. We get. And thank you for those ideas. MTH.
Thank you very much, So we don't discuss a lot about engaging communities, and I agree with everything that was said so far. That's why I have to have it. The more we engage with community leaders and all the other relevant stakeholders at the community level, we promote national ownership. continue on the social clubs there for make sure say the message will be sent out, it's uniform across the board. And because the reality is, as we already from Dr. Jano, the age bracket of the one them, the victims them. Now young people are only within their socio-economic productive years them. And that they cannot afford for lose them at that point in time. The other thing I want to add, we don't hear about sugar, we hear about Mauritius, South Africa, we don't face something similar. Anything that we can learn from them, we don't get some examples of sugar, but any other thing we can learn from them, we can even adapt to their own context and to their business model.
You done?
Yes.
Thank you. Madam Advisor.
To my minister.
Because you don't.
No, I'll come after her.
No, it's okay. I took names based on.
I thank you, Chief Minister. Good afternoon, everyone. So I wanted to talk about the public health aspects here at the Ministry of Health. We're looking at utilizing a multi-sectoral approach, just like we talked about. In April, Cabinet actually approved the establishment of a presidential task force on mental health, as well as the mental health secretariat.
You want to feel? Or I mean, say.
Oh, that's
you
on
want to-
field. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this that's the time of this.
It's not too far.
Okay, that's on field, eh? Okay, good afternoon. So last April, Cabinet below approved for establish the presidential task force on mental health and the mental health secretariat, which we work on for establish for set out there. And so what do we look at a multi-sectoral approach to this? All I don't talk about what we do from a drug enforcement, clinical aspect, but we didn't look at it, a bottom-up approach. Because some begin them, they're genetically predisposed. Addiction is a brain disease. So we want to catch them early before they give you the reach the side where they say, oh, lab will try push, lab will try other thing. And then when you look at when Dr. Jallo talk about the age range 20 to 30, I want to take that back to the more. Trauma. They're looking at really take proof. They've been exposed to trauma. Because even if you're not 34-year-old person, you were a teenager, really what happened? And then we all know the brain, your prefrontal cortex, is not developed until you're about 21 years old. And so if you have an adverse experience to your brain, it actually changes the way that you perceive things and your decision making. So what did we do? They come up with a multi-sectoral curriculum where all the different line ministries, MDAs were able to take and adapt to them. Again, looking at a bottom-up approach from prevention and early intervention. We have 3 low-hanging fruits where we belong decide that we can chair, and is to have a mental health mental health campaign, awareness raising. So then we will move on. We just wait for them to release the funds. We will do jingles there. It will be in 10 different languages. Then we want to establish wellness units now, all the regional hospitals there, and then also mental health hotline. So all that day, and Chief Minister, I will submit that plan to you. We just need to review last week, and they approved the TOR and the budget form as well. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Excellent. MOH. Thank you. Nice. But I think what you mentioned, which is to more understand how much of a problem we get, that one month ago, but to start on tomorrow.
Today.
We might not start on today. Thank you. NBSSC.
Some of these problems for me, I work in England for a while, and some of these problems we don't used to run an education system in England. It's not new. So some of that experience they are like we can have. But a couple of things. In teenage years, you expect young people to try new things. That is natural. However, when I listen to the doctor when he talk about the target group where they see, you get in a secondary school where they within that teenage years, but you also get within a primary school. That primary school one is very worrying. And so we will focus carefully in terms of prevention and rehabilitation. Prevention will stop taking and not forget to that stage. In terms of the education program that we provide, so we get civic education, we get comprehensive safety, and all that things that they will be delivered at school right now. So I think we need to bring in the drugs and alcohol element to it, because sometimes people start with alcohol or they go to drugs. The other thing, I think the experience we will get, the best way for them with it is that we use a multidisciplinary approach. So one teacher then they go for class and food, they don't get too much time for to deal with that kind of situation. So the next thing we need to do now we look at developing guidance and counseling. The second one is working with social welfare, where they will provide more psychosocial support for the beginner we get already getting problem. The Ministry of Health, I already approach Dr. Lebo after that award the accused and said became teacher. I thought that in as much as the allegation, he need to do something for him, because I thought he self-believed that not to just the teacher no more we have a big concern at that particular point in time. And lastly, I think it's about community engagement. One, the parents. Two, community leaders. Three, churches or faith groups. So that we can prevent NTR in the future. I'll stop.
Thank you. We'll take another round. I know see three begins. Who else? Oh yeah, sorry. You can go first, and then count to three. Bill Sago. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I want to say we're happy because everybody, Sierra Leone, said the government don't accept the drugs, don't be a talk of the town or talk of the moment. Because before we really deny and say, well, maybe not certain people that they take not only picking and not busy, but that also, but everybody not involved now says we need to get rid of this. In the first place, I believe the government for put health emergency on law, make them publicly, let the president for do that. I believe that will people even NGOs or people will protect that serious. And also, when we are talking about the engagement, I believe the media for me number one priority for the government, because even civil society they are using the media. Other NGOs or community people also using the media. I would say the media for me one of the leading role in terms of sensitizing or playing the middleman role between the government and that of the society itself. And also, I will say government before look at strategic things where it cause way to make people get access to these drugs. You therefore look at the borders, the crossing points, that might make a very good area back where the government for look at, because if you look at why the things that the guys say, originally not trying to make them, now bring them. So the government therefore look at this side of it and make sure they put strict measures in place how they for stop some of the things that they for the access to them. We believe for coastal line, the access to it, and also that way for limit people for take up, because if you don't say no will take up. And also another possibility talk about education. We they say you never teach them when they're young, you never teach them. I believe the government for put out account sex education into the curriculum, therefore puts drug also inside.
Thank you, Madam Minister.
Thank you very much. For me, I think we need this one that government like this. Don't talk of how we organize our assets now. Before we see this kind of thing. That for me, I think all the attire system. Because one scenario is that once there is an attire there is tendency for sin to push business to make a clearly na una get a point. But all the attacks, anybody can say push them back. This is the offense. That is the way I'm supporting. Say when you buy the way they sell them, because you know the other side you buy, you know where you go for the take out. So all the attacks is there. They told that they already know say that in people they look at. It seems there's a shift now. It is not the attire business that are the when I was explaining minister, everybody that is supposed to say application, every battle, most of them are the maternity pass. Most of it is to them with money, waiting the pass and they ask them, only go tell the pass and go give them. So the only way we pay for to get the workers' money to the team, like see. Because you see now that the new survey they pass all of them. All of them work the application as CIP, but not only because I'm just give me ideas to do that and get me command. When they give me for started the load and Akunakti, I said the load and Akunakti, I'm done with it. The load and Akunakti as a family, as we do. But we need for these kinds of measures other than that. As long as the inflow of and people that they will sell out, go back to the and last thing, continue to want to be there. Government do ask. The community we get very grateful for the work of stop this thing. For make sure say they name people there, maybe for say they no say get people like they do this thing. Now owners say for signals, no ransom, just for motivate people for information that any self say you know for say this thing happened. There is something little say the speech is that
Thank you. And let me listen all my head talk on that. Fantastic. Pass you. You want. All right, here's
really, a very important way we are calling because if we not step now on a problem we will get, and few things where everybody don't agree on is that they will really try to monitor land, sea, they'll really make sure we come on. And then, for me, I feel say, what would you do everything? That would begin for getting more for ourselves, say, we care. We care about this thing because we get picking them and it will affect them. It will affect them seriously. So, I remember Mr. Hills-Rialon, because I don't say I don't have it. Where he started it, and we began a project IKEA. I think you should go to the IKEA and do it. We do the IKEA so that we all will be citizens, then own land communities, then own them. If not that, we will miss them. Finally, please, in everything what we do, if government not put attention to ensuring that then youth man there, then young man there get job, now problem. And government alone no go able for one. We self for able for one. We say we get money then, we say we live best life, but we're not able to do nothing in our community. And luckily, we don't begin to see the new crop of ministers there. We don't see them, they reach out now the community, then we don't begin to see them. And that we want. So now going forward, we pray to God for few things. In community there, it's simple, it's Mauritius home now people that open coming. I remember some man open water coming. Some man open even this thing that well they coming. Then people make simple boat there. Some people they open coming there where they make simple things that some people they open playing coming in Mauritius. I remember those things that half work there, and we set them to able for open coming there for them youth man in our area. So they will open clothes washing coming. You employ, if not 10 clothing washing companies, so if not 10 person you employ that. people that inform about it, you don't need for being minister for they do that. We can be individual, you can open even simple companies then where you go open under where people that were employed. And then government will come into it. So one of the things that we really need for hang on when you get at this community, care for the people. Because if you let you go they take drugs, you know they will attack you.
Thank you. Maybe we'll take one final round. If you get something new, we're not going to say it before we maybe will end the agreement. Then we will end the presidential spokesperson, presidential advisor, the Minister of Internal Affairs. And then you want to listen to it. So I'll take one more round. Okay, so one more round we get, what's the name next time? Mohammed Jawad. Lincoln. Julian, and then Don. And then we kind of decide for round up. So that, yes, Mohammed Jawad.
So for now, whilst we talk about all this, we need to stop the bleeding whilst we commission research, they put paper together. And one of those things, studies and we possibly we need to understand why is it that young people they transition from one drug to another, chasing the next high. Or else we don't know which problem, then there will be another problem again. So we need to really dig into them fundamental things and understand them. And I think I support Mary's idea as well about let's make sure maybe for a start to pardon those who were if not to traffic as those who were caught with push over the smoker, because once we do that, we use those people for the, I think MIC could pick this up for use them as ambassadors. Those who are addicts and we don't transition, they don't get better, will also be in a position for acts as ambassadors. Because we've spoken to drug addicts, which addicts, we will tell you, we don't recover and we will tell you, it's difficult. And then testimonial videos will really help a lot for really nail down this problem. Together videos of showing people how we can help. Together videos of scaring them of the consequences if it also comes to them. So all of those material from a media perspective, I think really help.
Thank you very much, MJ. Lincoln.
Yes, thank you very much. From the data we Doc present, it really worrisome. We see a lot of people who are engaged in this drug abuse and the use of, and even the one school going children at university level, who they are the future leaders. You see, so we really need for those engagements within the schools, the university, for ensure they cut down this drug. Then also the laws. Then we get laws. Then we need to see how those laws can be enforced. Like we get laws that when we talk about selling alcohol to children below the age of 18 and drugs. Let's see how those laws can be enforced. Do engagement, let people know around those things. You see, that's because a lot of the ages the way they take it, get people as young as 10, 15 within this drug issue. So let's see how those laws can be enforced. Let people know that begin at the age of below 18 years. Not for if you sell them, go buy rum for you. Not for if you sell them, go buy a cigarette or other drugs for you. Let people know about these things. And let's see how those laws can be enforced.
Yeah, excellent points about guardian responsibilities. Julian.
Thank you very much. I think that already course on decriminalizing the victims them and all of that. Our sentiments we lead in place because I think what I appreciate say a good number of the users of drugs people who are supposed to care for and say okay, rehabilitate them and get them out of the addiction and all of that. But then I'm a little worried that maybe we can overstretch that for means say we take the eyes off the law enforcement bit of it. And that's a little worrying for me.
And not all because I disagree with the issue of these are victims, so we say, okay, I agree with that. But then I think, say, it's clear now, say the incentive for people and for continue for produce, import, and sell drugs is very high. Because in some communities then we don't see people and we not get anything at all. All of a sudden we now say, oh, don't buy car, they don't need those and all of that. When you get that kind level of enrichment involved, that's a serious incentive for the people the way they produce, when they import, when they sell. You know, so I really not want to maybe overstretch the issue of, oh, it is not too much of a criminal problem, it is so much of a social problem. I agree with regards to that they will call victims, but then people then when they import, when they produce, when they sell, when they peddle, believe me, we have to target them very seriously. The reason why people get to target them very seriously is because the incentive for doing it is very high. I am telling you, people that when I be like beggars, all of a sudden they are super rich, you know, because money they in the thing. Also when they get that kind of money, they buy that thing, they go tell them, say, oh no, Lord, just care for the people, let me know, maybe go reach there eventually. But for now, they need to be targeted very seriously. So I agree with the Attorney General when talk about the law enforcement. But again, I just want to say, with regards to the courts and punishment and all of that, as a lawyer, I mean, I don't practice criminal law for over 14 years now. I must say, a good number.
Sorry?
Can I quickly clarify something? So when I suggested, for example, sorry, I talk this foreign language.
It's not 30 seconds.
Okay, sir. When I suggest the issue of abandoning stuff, it's not for the one way that drug dealers. It's for the one who don't call our victims. Those who don't take them and who don't convict them, and I don't see them on the papers of those kinds of people. And then probably a quick thing would be, all of this requires a lot of money to see it. And I just don't know why government seem for the bits they shy away from the emergency declaration. Maybe enable the government to pump resources into this. Is there some shyness or something like that?
Sure, thank you. I want to say we know the shy. The way we work as this particular government, a very consultative process. We don't want to one bosses, we don't more say more go this way, then we go this way. All the idea that we don't coincide. So today, we're very structured. Nothing don't happen if somebody even just grab say more do it may be, but there are multiple ways to get into the final answer. And the ultimate goal that the country be able to get the best out of the young people that we will put one in a structured way. This is not part of the consultation to get to an answer to address the emergency that we have, the epidemic that we have. It's an epidemic, and we have to get to that point. And then maybe you go first, and then AG, and then we'll end with the presidential. So because it's a summary rounding up, we'll have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right.
Well, actually, when you look at the security aspect of this drug abuse, right from the national, society, the family, even the dead, because this is not the only effect. They affect the dead as well. Because the formalin, what do they take for preserve the body? Now, what do they take now? The rapper can start with smoke. It's not total. If they go back some people now, the same thing come up bad one because the body, you know. So if they only affect the living, we go say, well, the dead is. Well, they even affect the dead now. Some of you will say your member dead. Dead people, then RIP. Go check. Some of them have been dismembered already. So don't say RIP. Go confirm. Okay, that's on the lighter side. But to the government, if we are not very careful, we will not get generation we will succeed. Now destroy the generation in this country. We will mess up with national identity in some other countries. Like the commercial, you say not a problem, I will drive the bills or all this and that. So the society, we know now the problems we create in society. Driver will take motor car. They load more than 20 people, don't take, we should go crash them, or damage them, kill them. You know, this thing not to
but a big one, very serious approachness. Some people don't think we should come on and lane. They go kill other person and the other lane and the way the private man go about in business. Maybe big man in society, you know, you kill for nothing. We see most of these things. So even in the society, we not say in the society, if we all not come to one and fight this kind in this way on the fall way, it is very, very serious. To the family, when you talk about internal security problem, the first cause of internal security issues now poor parenting. Now man put number one when you talk about the cause of internal security, insecurity. Number one, poor parenting. So the defendant was poor parenting is responsible for a whole lot of internal security issues. And now we get the code divided and say you go bottom committee, you go big for a back for them, go kill all that teacher and all that school. Because nobody is not spoiled child. You know, these are all issues where we. So now we take a like what somebody say, then we go back again to this community engagement. Now I saw the Minister of Local Government.
Thank you. I'm glad that you speak about the security aspect of it. And then finally, Mr. AG, 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. And there are just some few points there. But take because Nkrumah would say the gentleman talk about the holistic review or approach. That's part of the reason why we're here. Again, if I can just support putting the same answer to the question about why government is shy. Government not is shy at all. Very good enough. If we all agree, say it is now it's becoming an emergency or it is an emergency, it is an epidemic, then the government is moving. Otherwise, we don't move and don't declare a state of emergency. But we want to make it so consultative that to know everybody is well informed who will take that position. There are several ways. Let's say teaching prevention team in schools where the Minister of Education, both low and higher and the MSSC, they all team them together. Now we'll find a way for them. We're not going to stop her. It's possible for us to stop her once and for all. It's fine. But if I for dedicate them to 0 or 1 again, it's fine. So this I want to all it again as parents them, as brothers them, family members them, look at them. See, it is serious and it's becoming very, very serious for us all. Not only push, it can be different mode. So now drugs generally, not only push. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to tell Oman thank you for the idea there and the brainstorm there. That we get oh, sorry. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. I don't listen to you at all. I think so long of places. But you say you don't need for doing events in Umbrella like that, no matter what. So you can. It's not so long ago, you don't face Corona. And this is not all of governments, all of society involved, including communities. I think so if we go back to what we did before, even on the paper trail, the kind of strategies we use. If we treat this as an emerging infectious disease epidemic, I think so if we're able to defend strategies we use now, will they exist already? The only thing people will say now, where will the money come from? That is why I think people are sitting here to see what category of government expenditure will be used. If it is an emergency, how will it declare an emergency? Parliament is in recess. So we have to look at other loopholes in the law which we can use to say that we can extend the activities of narco. I'm not saying we'll bring it back, but the thing that we will do till we fight that infectious disease when we can't afford. Kill all man and go. I think this is one way we can look at as a candidate for the put another category. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I make it time for many wise one to talk last. But it's because something that you mentioned was about about it. And then the people might know, but the public health agency that's already been enacted and assented to law. So if this is a public health emergency, we have a public health agency that is well established to address it. The public health agency, we all go really low, encompasses many different, all of these elements. Something when you say we're very, very important now that different people don't use that expression, they say it's a public health crisis. Since the public health crisis, Ebola is a public health crisis, COVID is a public health crisis, and Salone don't demonstrate, repeatedly say, we're able to take public health crisis and handle them very well. So, one part is in a way, one for say that the people that we don't write concepts, people that we don't make, we get ideas, we don't suggest, the one that we don't begin do data work already, the one that we get curriculum, we don't do in our account time, we able do something one for. Then we see what we do in the next couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, such that by the time we Parliament they come back, we don't get all the things we need for do with the right set of decisions where the executive will make with support. The second thing we have the one for doing AG, this it's small, and you say cabinet does say for maybe you work with internal affairs, work with you for harmonize the drug laws and the conversation that we talk about from the victims to the peddlers to all that they will be different. So we want for big you will make it the priority, the harmonization of the drug laws, and how they can be one effective way. And invite you all to support that process there as well. As we say, this is an economic problem, a social problem, a welfare problem, a health problem, a security problem, a communication problem, an education problem, a jobs problem, a salon problem. And the outcome of this, we will write them up. People will sign up, they name their email address. So we'll see how we will share that as a living document.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Leave this place to take away. You know, just spend that say 2 weeks or something.
Oh, the
As we stand here now, we sit here, the problem is repeated. I think say the police and the NDA have enough ammunition in terms of legality for them to do things, especially with the community police package. I don't see communities today in the Wilberforce area, they mobilize themselves. They go after the issues and shame them in public and take them out of the community. I think if we give them some legality with the existing laws, as we wait for whatever new strategies we use.
Okay, so the takeaway that the police, the ministry, then the agency, then we get out, they will come out with a clear set of guidelines and response, and that the law will accelerate the harmonization of the laws, and we don't every week when proposal and we'll bring down the back to the executive. The children, Madam begin mobilize we are going to continue the mobilization. The media, which thing I know they do, will continue to do that and highlight solutions. But we will come out with something at the end of this and we'll share that. Thank you so much. I think you came right on time. Thank you and have a wonderful
Comment Rapoli. Rapoli from
morning.
It is very well.
Sierra Star Transport Company is here to change the face of transportation in Sierra Leone. We operate a first-class service and ensure that